All right, we are in Chapter 8, the first half, Part 1. It's lessons 8.1 through 8.4. And we are now doing the review for your test. So you're going to complete this packet on your own and then check with the video. You're going to submit, and then your test is tomorrow. Well, you can be working on it prior, but it's scheduled for tomorrow, and it is due by Sunday evening. All right, this is chapter or lesson 1 and 8.1. We're simply adding or subtracting polynomials. I'm going to remove the parentheses here, and I'm subtracting every single term. Okay, so be careful. When you subtract each term, you have to distribute that negative. Then you have to combine like terms. So if I have a negative 1x squared and a negative 2x squared, that's going to be negative 3x squared. I have a 3x and a negative 5x, which is negative 2x. That means your answer is C. Okay, you need to show work when you submit. If you just circle the answers, that's not completing work. The next one, same thing. I'm just removing the parentheses because the parentheses are simply saying this quantity minus that quantity. So nothing's happening to the first quantity, but I'm subtracting the entire quantity in the second half, so I need to distribute that negative. There are no other k squareds. There's an 8k and a negative 2k, which is a 6k, and 2 and a negative 3 is a negative 1. So your answer is D. It says determine whether each expression is a polynomial. If it is a polynomial, find the degree and determine whether it is a monomial, a binomial, or a trinomial. Okay, so yeah, it's a polynomial, and there are 3 terms, so it's a trinomial. Its highest degree is 3, so it's also a cubic. So it's a cubic trinomial. Number 4, it says rate each polynomial in standard form. Identify the leading coefficient. So the highest degree is 4. Your next degree is cubed, and then it would be 10x because it's technically the first, and then 7 is just a constant, so it doesn't have a coefficient. So your answer, they're all the same here. The leading coefficient here would be a 1. So your answer is D. Second page, you're still adding and subtracting. It says the polynomial s cubed minus 70s squared plus 1500s minus 10,800 models of profit a company makes on selling an item. The second item sold at the same price brings in a profit of s cubed 30s squared plus 450s minus 5,000. It says write a polynomial that expresses the total profit. Oh goodness, okay. So if I have a profit and they want a total profit, what am I going to do with these two things? I'm going to add them. So I have s cubed and s cubed, so that's 2s cubed. I have a negative 70 and a negative 30 for a negative 100, s squared. I have 1500 and I have 450. They're both positive, so that's 1950. And a negative 10,800 and a negative 5,000 would be negative 15,800. So your answer is not this one, not this one. The only difference here is the negative 100. That's your answer. Number 6, if the measures of two sides of a triangle are given, okay, and P is the perimeter, it's saying if I add up all the sides, the perimeter should be 10x plus 5y. What is it currently? Well, it's a 5x and a 3x, so it's currently an 8x. And a 4y and a minus y is technically a 3y. So what did that other side have to be for it to get from 8x plus 3y to a 10x plus 5y? Well, I need 2 here, and I need 2 here. Therefore, this is my answer. Okay, here it's a simplify, so we just distribute. It's going to be 5 times 3 is 15. J times j is j squared. K times k is k squared. 5 times 2 is 10. J k squared. The end. Here I'm going to distribute to both. That's going to be 12t squared minus 18t. Here I also have to distribute, so we get 10t squared. That's negative, be careful. Negative 45t plus 15. Well, I have to clean it up. I have to simplify to get 12 minus 10, which is 2t squared. Negative 45 and a negative 18 is a negative 63. And then we have that positive 15 left over. So your answer is C. Be careful when you circle. Lastly, we have one more to distribute. Negative times a negative is a positive 6g. We also have to distribute this middle. So 3g squared, 6g plus 3 plus 15g squared minus 9g. Okay, that's a lot to clean up. We have a negative 21g, we have a positive 15g, and we have a positive 3g squared. So we can combine all those terms. That's 18 from a negative 21, which gives you a negative 3g squared. Then we have a 6g, which is 12 minus 9 is 3, and then the plus 3. Okay, we're on the second page. Here, we've done some like these in Delta Math. You're going to have 10t minus 5. Don't forget that plus 3 equals 9t plus 6. You have to clean up your sides before you move anything. So 10t and a negative 2. Now we can start moving things from one side to the other. Subtract a 9t. You're going to get t minus 2 equals 6. Add 2 to both sides, you get 8. The beauty of math is you can check your work. So when you have that 8, plug it back in. Does it work? Okay. This one, we haven't done ones like this, but it's not that hard. U squared minus 5u plus 8u equals u squared plus 2u minus 4. Make sure you distribute. When I clean it up, I get u squared plus 3u equals u squared plus 2u minus 4. I have u's on both sides, so if I subtract 1, they disappear and I get 3u equals 2u minus 4. I'm going to subtract 2u from both sides, and my answer is u, or 1u, equals negative 4. Beauty of math is you can check your work, plug it back in. Does it work? All right, next one. Find each product. This is a binomial multiplied by a binomial, so it's called FOIL. First, outer, inner, last. When you combine these like terms, it's going to be negative a. So this is your answer. Here we have to distribute 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you're going to get m cubed, 9m squared, negative 8, and a 20 is a 12, minus 40. Well, the difference between here and here is the negative 40. So your answer is B. And lastly, this one's a doozy. 3 times 3 is 9. Why did the fourth? Be careful. You have to add those exponents. 3 times 4 is negative 12y cubed. 3 times 5 is negative 15y squared. Then we go with the middle term. We're going to get 6y cubed, negative 8y squared, negative 10y, and lastly the third, plus 6y squared, minus 8y, minus 10. Now we have to combine like terms. There's no other 9y to the fourth. Negative 12, positive 6 is a negative 6. Okay, so we know it's not the first one. Then we have a positive 6, negative 15, which is negative 9, and a negative 8 is negative 17y squared. So we know this is canceled. And then we have a 10y and an 8y, which is negative 18y minus 10. So our answer is D. Okay, let's do that. Okay, 16, write an expression to represent the area. Well, if the area is 1/2 base times height, find the area by substituting in the base and then the height. Well, half of this is 2x plus 1, so that's simplified. And now we just FOIL the two binomials. First, outer, inner, last. And when we simplify that, we combine the middle terms. C's your answer. All right, last page. These are actually simple. Q plus 8 times Q plus 8. Because when anything is squared, it's something times itself. So we're going to have to FOIL. First, outer, inner, last. Combine like terms, it's all positives. A is your answer. Same thing again. First, outer, inner, last. These cancel, and that's your answer. When something is squared, it's something times itself. First, outer, inner, last. Same thing again. First, outer, and now it's Q and a T. They don't go together, so it's just QT or TQ. It doesn't matter. Same thing here. Positive 20, Q times T, they can't go together, so they're beside each other. When they're beside each other, that implies multiplication. The middle terms cancel, and you get 16 Q squared minus 25 T squared. Be careful. Some of these are very similar. Once again, we're doing the same thing again. We're FOILing. 4v to the fourth, 6 v squared x squared, 6 v squared x squared. If you mismatch them, they still go together, even if they're not in the right order. And lastly, 9x to the fourth. That's it. These can go together since they're the same. So v to the fourth, 12, and 9. Oh, but it's not this one. I circled the wrong one because what did I forget? The squareds. It's D. Okay. And lastly, it says Janelle wants to enlarge a square graph. Notice I'm drawing a picture when it says the word square. She's made it so the side of the new graph will be 1 inch more than twice the original side G. So if the original side was G, this side's going to be 1 more than twice G. Let's talking about what trinomial represents the area. Well, area is length times width. We're talking about squares here, so the length is the same as the width. So when I FOIL the binomial, the same binomial twice, I'll end up getting 4g squared plus 4g plus 1. That's it. Okay, make sure you fill this out. I don't want to see answer circled. Please feel free to email if you have any questions and submit in your folder.